Hi, I'm Nate Flax.
I'm Noah Longworth-McGuire.
And this is Talking Lion.
Talking Lion is a podcast focused on artist-to-artist conversations.
We're primarily artists, a duo called Sleeping Lion. And throughout our career as songwriters and producers, we've had the opportunity to work with so many incredible rising artists.
Talking Lion is about hitting record on the conversations we've had with our musical friends and collaborators to get a glimpse into what their life's been like and where it's going.
A few reminders before we start.
Firstly, we now have a Patreon for fans of the show to show their support and help keep the show going.
As a Patreon subscriber, not only will you earn rewards, but you'll also gain exclusive access to a chat room in our Discord server.
Here you can talk with us and even suggest questions for our guests.
Go to patreon.com/talkinglion to subscribe.
We appreciate your support.
As we mentioned, we also have a Discord server that's become a sort of community hub for Sleeping Lion and Talking Lion. We're very active on there and very eager to talk to you about who you are on the show and how you feel about the new episodes, as well as just talking about life.
So yeah, come through and you can talk with us. You can make some new friends, share your art, and share your memes.
Go to sleepinglionmusic.com/Discord to join our server.
We hope to see you there.
Lastly, our face is on a shirt. We have shirts now for Talking Lion with our faces on them. If you want to wear us on your shirt, buy a shirt. It helps support the show, and it shows your friends that you like Sleeping Lion and Talking Lion.
You can find these shirts on our website, sleepinglionmusic.com/store. Pro tip, Patreon supporters of the honorary Lion tier or higher will get a free shirt.
Now back to the show.
We recorded this episode with our friend Tim Atlas.
We first connected with Tim through a friend of mine who managed him. We later met in person at South by Southwest in 2018.
We recorded this interview following the release of Tim's EP, QUOTA, a few days before he moved from LA to New York.
An incredibly kind and supportive friend whose music reminds us to take a moment to vibe out and unwind. It's meant a lot to have Tim Atlas in our corner for all these years. And we wish him the best in New York City. So,
without further ado,
I'm Tim Atlas, and this is Talking Lion.
well, hey, hello.
How's it going?
hello.
What's up? Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course, man.
course.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's been so long.
It really has been so long. And you were playing like down the street and we didn't even get a chance to see you, man.
I know. First show in a year and a half. But yeah, I wasn't expecting like everyone to come, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, but next time we will be there. That's how it's going to go down. But
yeah.
I'm glad you could be here, especially because you're moving to New York super soon.
Yeah.
How long have you been out here?
I've been out here like 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, shit. That'll
yeah. Long time. And I feel like I will end up back here. But
2 New York winters and you're out.
yeah, I grew up in California. So like I haven't really experienced weather in its like full capacity.
It's fun. It's fun for a little bit.
It's
cool. It's
yeah.
charming.
You'd be
like,
shocked by how much weather there is outside of LA.
Are
So
you
much
both
weather.
from the East Coast?
I'm from New York. He's from Rome,
I grew
Italy.
up in Rome, which also kind of doesn't have weather. But
Okay.
but I went to college in Boston.
It definitely
so I
has the
definitely-
Ides of March, though.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch out. Always beware of the Ides of March.
I feel like I experienced my most hurtful winter in Boston.
I mean, yeah.
yeah. The winters
I mean,
hurt there.
Boston winters, you have to take personally. Like, Boston winters are out to insult you. It insults your resolve. It insults your intelligence. Like, Boston winter is coming for your jugular. Like,
yeah. Like you can wear as many layers as you want, but they're gonna strip
It just goes
you
right
of
through
your
you.
pride and joy.
Strip you of your happiness.
Right.
It's the Dementor's kiss of weather.
Oh my
So
god.
true.
I mean, we met like during that like awful blizzard in 2015. Like that was how we wound up becoming like initially friends before the whole Sleeping Lion
It was
stuff.
like 3 weeks of school being canceled.
Because we just couldn't leave our dorm. Like literally, it was like you will get frostbite if you go outside.
Yeah.
Don't go outside.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Boston.
Would you say that like the weather affected your songwriting or your art in any way?
Interesting.
You definitely write a lot about snow and then realize that you probably should write about other things.
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely affected my moods, which caused me to write more.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like, I mean, I still get a seasonal depression in Los Angeles, but there's nothing like being absolutely like fucked up and then not being able to go out or take
Yeah.
a walk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
Cuffing season exists.
Okay.
You know?
Nice. Yeah.
Well, because cuffing season in Los Angeles is like everybody decides they want to go out for like a month. Cuffing season in, you know, Boston is if you aren't dating somebody before January, you are going to be stuck inside alone.
Yep. It's very utilitarian.
That's so crazy. Yeah, see, like the weather doesn't dictate a whole lot for me. I just know that I do fine in like cold weather. We did like our first big boy tour at the beginning of 2020. So, and it was in January. So we went like through all these cold cities, black ice, like storms, like the whole thing. I didn't live through it, but it was like a month of that. So I know that I can, get by and feel fine.
You have the right clothes? You got the clothes yet?
I got a couple scarves.
Okay, that's
I
good.
got a nice little peacoat.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. Peacoats are my whole thing. I love peacoats, man.
That's your
I'll say it's my peacoats right behind you.
Oh, nice. In LA too.
Anybody listening who knows, who's seen me out and about, I don't go anywhere without it.
Nice.
It's my personality. Does he have personality, or is he just wearing a peacoat?
Yeah.
We're so like LA indoctrinated at this point that we legitimately, like in March, tried to drive to Colorado in the middle of a snowstorm in a Toyota Camry.
Yeah. We're just like it'll be fine.
We skidded off the road. We couldn't make it up the mountain, so we had to walk for like a mile in the snow, like on a mountain. It was just a crazy,
Oh my God.
stupid. Because we were all just like, we all know better.
Yeah.
Why did we do this?
Yeah.
It's because everywhere is LA when you live in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have those stories too.
Yeah,
When you're
I mean,
like,
definitely.
going on the road.
My first like little boy tour, because this was like cafes in Colorado, but like 8 of them.
Cool.
I went on tour with Miette when we were 18.
Wow.
And we were all in a van, and it was precarious as hell because it was icy and it was the winter, and it was awesome. And it was cold. You just remember that we had a little crack in the windshield of the rental van that luckily we didn't have to pay for, but there's a little crack in the windshield, so it was just cold air.
Oh, you could feel the air.
We could feel the air through the crack. Yeah,
and it was just like a tiny crack.
it was a tiny crack that progressively got bigger
Oh my God.
as we went through different temperature deviations.
Yeah, dude. That's
I mean,
crazy.
tour does it, man.
Yeah. Love it.
But
And then you hate it.
You said you grew
and
up
you miss
around
it.
here, right?
Yeah, I grew up in like the Bay Area.
All right. Oh,
Yeah, like I was born in Oakland,
Nice.
and then spent most of my life in San Jose.
how's that? That's awesome. So you're a
Yeah.
West Coaster, East Coaster, the boot.
Yes.
Boop de Beppo.
I'm from
Buca de
Europe.
Beppo.
I'm from Buca de Beppo.
Nice.
I was born in a Buca de Beppo.
He was found in a family-sized plate.
Raised in an Olive Garden.
Oh yes, so much culture.
I
went
mean,
to college in
they're your
Italy.
family.
Yeah, they're your family. Exactly.
So are we.
Yeah, there we go.
Everyone is.
You know what? Oh, we're all there. Hey, if I ever go missing, I'm at an Olive Garden. I'm in the vat of pasta.
And an Olive Garden.
In the vat of pasta in the back.
Yeah.
What's prompting the New York move? That's my question.
I think it's just complacency
Mm-hmm.
or just feeling like a bit comfortable. I think when you're pursuing an artist project for more than a couple years, you start to try and figure out ways to just like shake things up, because sometimes it feels self-indulgent and also like you're doing the same thing over and over. So like I feel like one of the more immediate things you can do is just to like change up your whole scenery and just to like shake things up in your life and get a little uncomfortable. And LA is like, the city has given me so much, but I'm definitely comfortable,
Yeah.
So I just want to like,
Shake the snow globe.
exactly, and,
No,
and see
feel
what
that.
happens,
Yeah.
We
see where it goes.
we were actually feeling a similar kind of complacency, and then for what it's worth, the pandemic shook it up for us. For
Right.
us, it was like
Definitely.
Yeah.
it was like, oh, okay, so all of this is as precarious as we thought it was, and there are ways we could, be pushing our career forward that we hadn't even thought of, and then our friends do well on TikTok and all that, whatever, and so it's just a big sort of wake up call. Even interpersonally, we're like, well, we love Sleeping Lion, but also we both have our own styles and that's what we bring to the table. What if we distilled that? What if I tried something? What if he tried something? What if we come back even better?
Right.
That. So I feel like in a lot of ways, like, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced I think in the pandemic, either the peak of complacency, like, oh, I've gotten this level of comfort, what's next?
Right.
Or been sort of awoken by their own discomfort.
Yeah.
You know? So that's like,
Yeah.
I think kind of
think,
where
like,
everybody's transforming, you know?
In the beginning of the pandemic, for sure, I was definitely on that page. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna move my whole studio into my apartment, and we're all collectively going through this thing. So I don't know, just put you in a different mindset.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I just missed that a little bit because now I'm chilling.
Well, I miss New York. I mean, I think the reason I visit as often, I tell people all the time, like, LA is drugs. Like, LA is the definition of too much of a good thing. So I feel like as awesome as it is to be here, at a certain point, you're like, why do I feel crazy? Like, why do I feel like I've been on this like bender for a year? And like, and it's just every day is the same perfect day. And like, and I love it. Like, it's genuinely like a good high to be here, but I don't love being high all the time.
Yeah.
I think what I love about being able to like flush it out of my system and go to New York is that for a second, I feel like I'm home. For a second, I get to kind of like feel like I'm supposed to feel, which is just sort of like this, like a little bit more scrappy. And that's the thing is like, I'm always just a little high strung. So scrappy and moving and all that, all those New York, I want to be a part of it. New York,
And sometimes like, so you don't really get that, like that feeling in LA where you're part of like some like organism.
Yeah.
Because we're all kind of like in our apartments, then we get in our cars to get from point A to point B, and then we get back in our cars to go back home, and that's like our lives. There's not like a whole lot of shared experience out here.
Not like the MTA.
Yeah.
Well,
ultimate
I feel
shared
like
experience.
I feel like I like broke up with New York because we were like mutually tired of each other. But then like and now I'm going out with LA and it's very pretty, but also I'm like, we had a nice thing, didn't we?
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Like maybe we just weren't old enough to appreciate each other. New York and I,
Yeah.
It was a really tough breakup. We all had to do some soul searching.
Well, she'll be there.
Yeah, she always is.
She's
around.
Shining bright.
Yeah. Just pull her up out of your closet of skeletons. And
Just, drunk text New York.
Drunk text the entire city.
Hey, New York, you up? Of
Yeah.
course I'm up. I never sleep.
Incredible.
Oh, dead. That's good.
We met at South by Southwest. I know.
Is that where we first
That's
met?
where we met in person.
Okay.
I was friends with Leah, and I knew of you, and of course, like there's the We Found New Music stuff and all that. I remember the first time we I think met in person was South by, and you were so nice because you came to see us at the corner of a hotel lobby, like next to the gym of the hotel, and I was like, and at no point did we ever get the vibe from you that it wasn't a show. Like you made us just feel like we just played for 300 people at like a beer garden in Austin. But the truth is like we went to South by. We were still early in our stuff because it was a couple years ago, and so we were so excited. We're like, we're playing South by. We got there, and it's just like corner of the hotel, a brewery on the city limits that only serves kombucha, and. And it was just, and it wasn't like we were necessarily disappointed, but it was like we were almost just a little embarrassed that we were like doing the we're playing South by flex when in our heart of hearts we kind of knew we were just there,
Yeah,
but you were so nice. You were like, that was awesome.
Oh,
you
cool, man.
you made us feel like we had just played like a legitimate South by show,
Oh,
even though we were
cool.
literally in the corner of a hotel.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I was just happy to like go and check you guys out. It was like, I like those intimate shows. Though.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Where it's just like everyone's ears are just like tuned in, and your music like caters to that environment as well.
I mean, I remember you were like on the couch. You were one of 3 people. In the show.
There were free snacks too. So
There were
it wasn't
free
all you
snacks.
guys.
Was that,
Yeah.
was that the gig that had the free canned wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sponsored by the canned wine company.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. We were like, we showed up like, somebody came. And we loved your music. Like, we've been jamming to your music. So we're like, oh my
cool.
God, like,
That's
Tim's
sick.
here.
That's so
That
funny.
was my first South by too. Actually, it was my first and only South by.
Really?
Yeah. We played a lot of grimy spots where it was like, well, here's your corner.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah,
Free
sure.
wine.
Yeah.
One drink ticket is your payment for this show.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean-
but that's the thing. Like, you play those shit shows and then you just never know who's there. You know?
That's
Like,
so true.
we played this like really crappy like saloon, and I was on the mic. I was like, I never knew we'd end up here.
All
And
those
then-
years of wanting to play
Yeah.
South by, and now here we are.
Just honing in on my talent and skill to build up to this moment. But
One guy in the
crowd-
back is like, who are you?
Yeah.
Where are we?
My name is Jim Apples.
Jim Apples.
Jim who?
In that show, my lawyer was in the crowd.
Oh,
and
very
he's
cool.
like helped me with my label deal.
Was he your lawyer at the time, or did
No.
he? Okay, so
No,
he met
he
you
just
that
showed
way.
up. I
Oh,
think
sick.
Leah, she like
Yeah.
everyone loves her. So,
Oh my God,
people are gonna come to the showcase if she asks them.
I love
Right.
Leah. I feel like my like most vivid memory of her for some reason. Either Noah and I or my manager and I showed up to one of Leah's parties a week early.
Nice. You just knock on the
So
door.
we just knocked
I
on
guess
the
we're
door,
the first ones
and she
here.
like comes out in her pajamas and like a has like one of those like night like shawls, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" It was like 9:30, and I'm like, "Isn't it a party?" I had like a case of beer.
Oh my
And
god.
she's like, "Next week."
Next
So
week.
funny.
Yeah, I think that must have been Josh.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
It was I had never been so like pleasantly embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because all the people, like, I'm glad it was Leah, like, who would be like, oh yeah, Nate's just ridiculous, like he'll do that fine, you know,
Right,
as opposed to somebody who might be like, what the fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he did
I guess
what?
I have had a lot of moments with Leah like that where she doesn't make you feel so bad about being kind of dumb.
I mean, but you all are so nice, because I think it's so easy. I think here's something we don't talk about enough on the podcast or in general. It's so easy to be dumb in this industry.
Yeah.
It is so easy to
Yeah.
just be completely batshit stupid.
Yeah.
Because, okay, here's my hypothesis. We are people who are naturally not great at organizational stuff, which is why
Right.
we went into music. Like, if we were good at organizational stuff, we'd be 9-to-5ing it and
Right.
doing that thing.
Right.
So
It's not our strong suit.
not our strong suit. So we are people who outsource our literal schedule. Like, there's somebody who is literally in charge of that thing for us. There are people, if you've built out that team, who are in charge of your finances, who are in charge of like all of the legal stuff that you have to do. That's the best case. And even, on the label side, then you got an entire team helping you with creative and posting and all. There are so many people who are picking up the reins of what we're doing that benefit from us not knowing what we're doing.
Mm,
There's an
Yeah.
entire
Mhm.
industry around
right.
and entire professions around us not being able to be our own accountants, us not being able to understand split sheets, like,
Right.
and that's good and well and fine and whatever. But like, man, is it easy to be stupid sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, the expectation has changed too. I mean, for independent musicians, it's like you kind of have to be a Swiss Army knife and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to be able to do those things. And now that I have my team and everyone that fills in those holes for me, it allowed me to just like fully focus on music, and I've never been so grateful because I used to have like trust issues,
I mean,
used to answer my own
I
emails
still do.
like, for, like,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day,
yeah.
No, for sure.
And so like just to even think about like taking on those tasks again is pretty daunting.
Well, and that's you get into writing and you're touring and your podcast and whatever. There's so much shit that you don't even have the mental bandwidth as a human to know.
right.
Like, but again, I think it is easy to be pretty dumb in this because like we are good at this one thing.
Mhm.
And if we're lucky, 5, and if we're luckier, 10. but there's still another 80 other things somebody needs to take care of,
Yeah.
So it's definitely
That's
something.
so true.
Oh,
Real
man.
shit, man.
Shout out to the managers listening.
Yeah.
You are the real MVPs
Mhm.
Keep the lights on.
because you keep the lights on. And if you're listening to this podcast, it means you're trying to learn about what the artist experience is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out, like, what is it like for us? Why are we so weird? Why can't we do our own schedules? It's because we're tired.
Because we're incompetent.
Yeah. It's because we chose to be incompetent for you.
Exactly. So that you could have your little commission.
so that we can pay you thousands of dollars a month to do that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And thank you. Pausing the podcast to shout out our sponsor, NuWave.
No, I've been drinking coffee my entire life.
You know, as a Roman, same.
As a New Yorker, absolutely.
It's our birthright.
It's our birthright. We came out of the womb drinking coffee.
Fully caffeinated.
And the thing is that we're not getting any younger.
That's true.
And we're not getting any less anxious.
Oh, man, that's true too.
I'll say I have loved coffee my whole life, but lately it hasn't really been agreeing with me.
How so?
Unfortunately, when I drink coffee now, I just start feeling very agitated, very anxious. I've been looking around for alternatives that don't make my heart just beat out of my chest while I'm in the middle of working. And that's how we stumbled upon NuWave. NuWave's Flow State Coffee is an organic ground coffee meant to lower anxiety, improve brain function, and support creativity. With L-theanine and raw cacao, Flow State Coffee is meant to feel like a cup of hot chocolate or tea while giving the energy of coffee.
And now, through Talking Lion, you can try a couple cups of your own.
If you go to their website, NuWave.co, that's N-O-O wave.co, you can use the code BrewingLion for 10% off your first order. We hope you get a creative boost and find your flow state.
Now, back to the show.
So you just put out an EP, QUOTA.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It was different. This time it was really different. I think it's the longest I've ever worked on a record, just because there are just like so many chapters over the last year and so many experiences. And so it was hard to like pick and choose what to put on the record. So listening back, there is this like weird sense of just like different versions of me on this record. But it also feels kind of chronological and kind of like a timeline of just kind of what I've gone through and what we kind of collectively went through over the last year. So it was a lot of me in the studio, like by myself for hours and hours, and then the occasional like Zoom session.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of that on this record, and I think that was a good thing because it allowed me to shake up the process a bit. Also like sit more in the driver's seat, which I've just kind of like been owning more and more over the last couple years now. Yeah, so it's a fun record. There's like there's a lot of different sounds like sonically, but I guess like we get so caught up in our heads about like, this is who I'm supposed to be.
You're saying like, oh, it's this, but I feel like there's such a unifying quality to the record. Like I think that like, while you might use a different like set of or palette on one record or a different record, like the vibe, like you're a vibey ass guy, like the vibe is all the same. If one of the songs on the record sounded like one of the sad folky shit we were doing, then I'd say like maybe you're jumping around a little bit,
but that'd also be kind of cool.
That would be cool, right? In which case we got you. Yeah,
exactly.
But
man.
but I do mean to say like, you have a great way, and we struggle with it. Like you have a great way of having strong emotional undertones, but also that it vibes, that it moves, that it lets you like just like feel. It reminds you to drop your shoulders. Like
I love that,
and I think that that's what unifies your music more than what is happening, on one song or another song sonically.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, man.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah, I definitely have had the tendency in the past to like overthink about who Tim Atlas is and like how I can make this like a cohesive experience where people are like immersed in this world. And I think that plays into my project well, but sometimes I concern myself like way too much with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to let go of the reins, try some new shit. And
Yeah,
so,
it's always gonna be you.
yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly. You just gotta trust your instincts.
You have to trust that it's always gonna come from your brain, and even if you even have a bit of a scattered brain, there's always gonna be a level of cohesion that comes into your music, just because you are a unique person with a unique set of like influences and things.
If any artist is like, yep, I know my sound, I'm like, fuck, man, talk to me in 2 years, and if you still feel that way, then tell me how you're doing.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, totally.
you know, either your listeners are gonna get tired of that, or you're gonna get tired of that, and that tug of war should be present in this stuff. So I think the fact that you're questioning it at all, is Tim Atlas your name?
No.
Okay.
No,
Well, I only asked that question because that's the other thing that is sometimes complicated for artists, is like, this is your name.
Yeah.
This is who you are. Like, we get to say, oh, here's Sleeping Lion.
Right.
You know, and we get to at least have this other. So that does help it feel malleable. Same goes for Tim Atlas, you know?
Some separation.
Some separation. Because it's just like, if I had a project called Nate Flax, and I'd be like, okay, who do I want to be tomorrow? You know, like, I'd feel a lot more like I'm trying to change my identity than just doing the basic thing of creating a sound and evolving a sound for a project. You know, Sleeping Lion isn't me. It's us. It's this. It's, you know, another character.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important, I think.
Yeah. Totally, man.
So I appreciate your journey on that, man.
Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, it's been interesting, and it just makes me more excited for new stuff, because maybe on this record, I gave myself more permission to try new shit, and to kind of like think outside the box, and like to let go of kind of like my predisposed notion of like what I'm supposed to sound like, you know?
Yeah,
there
definitely.
you go. You know, it's
like I rapped on a song the other day.
I mean,
That's it.
there we go. It's fucking growth, man. Well, that was the thing too. Is when we started specifically because we thought we had an idea or an in to like what people liked, and took us literally years to write stuff we liked. You know, to realize that like we were so inspired by what we grew up listening to, that we wanted to make stuff that made us feel like that, not what was on the radio when we started the project.
Yeah.
God, I mean, could you imagine if we were making stuff like when we were first starting out? Like, what would we do? Like, we'd be so miserable.
Yeah, we're just
You
like
know?
doing hype machine music.
Hype machine music,
Still making
man.
hype
You
machine
can't-
music.
Yeah, no way.
Oh, yeah.
No way. No way.
M, bro.
Stopping the podcast to shout out one of our sponsors, The Truffles. Noah, you like to cook.
I do like to cook.
You're actually very good at cooking.
I'd say I'm decent.
But I think that the thing about cooking that you have taught me is that flavor is everything.
Truly.
You got to bring in little flavors that you wouldn't expect. And one of my favorite flavors is the taste of truffles.
A great flavor.
But we are so lucky to have the Truffles as a sponsor for Talking Lion. Founded by Jimmy Coons and based in Long Island City, Queens, the Truffles creates artfully handcrafted truffle products of the highest quality and flavor.
While their truffles are imported from the countrysides of Italy, France, and Spain, they proudly source many of their base ingredients locally from small farms and artisanal producers.
They offer a variety of truffle products, from truffle oil and truffle butter to truffle salami and honey to even truffle hot sauce.
I love truffle hot sauce.
They've also recently launched cheesesteaks by the Truffleists, so keep an eye out for pop-ups in your area. So bring the taste of truffle into your life. Go to truffleist.com, that's TRUFFLEIST.com to place your first order.
Now back to the show.
Where did the name QUOTA come from?
It came from a song that didn't make the record.
Oh, cool. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I just like latched on to the meaning of the word, and just like thinking about the timeline of when I made this record, and kind of like I just touched on like a lot of the chapters that I went through, and it really felt full circle, and we kind of met our quota, or I met my quota of like emotions, you know?
It is kind of funny though that the song didn't make the quota.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I regret it, actually. I regret that song not being on the record, because I was just insecure about it. I don't know.
Deluxe record. QUOTA Deluxe.
Oh, yeah. A little bonus.
Little bonus track. Get a couple remixes, acoustic
the song is
version.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The song is called Cold Shoulder. It's still on Spotify.
Oh, actually, yeah.
In the world for people to hear, but yeah.
What's the lyric that inspired it?
All I needed was your shoulder. but you disappeared once you met your quota.
All I needed was your shoulder.
What's it is?
Ooh, and he sang it for us too.
Yeah.
Ooh. I really like Wallflower.
Thanks,
it
man.
seems that the people like Wallflower too, but I like Wallflower.
Yeah, I like that song too.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
and
not-
that's cool. I mean, like, I think
I'll like the most popular track. That's fine. I'll do
my
it.
most popular songs, I feel like, are the ones that I like the most too.
Good.
So I'm
You'd rather
totally
that
fine
than
with
the
that.
other way around,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Our most popular tracks, I'm like, come on, just fucking listen to this. Like, listen to this other one. Like,
Listen to this
stop
other
it.
one.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it can stay.
Stop it can stay.
but stop and listen to these other ones.
Exactly. It's like going to a restaurant and like they're famous for their burger, but we're like, hey man, the salad's pretty good too.
The salad- And the salad, like the guy opened up the thing to be a salad joint, and at one point,
Yeah.
somebody was just like,
burger
"The
got
burgers
too.
are great," you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is there a line from Wallflower you really like?
I think that song, I wrote it kind of cheeky, where it was like electric slide, so you know I exist.
Electric slide, just so you know I exist.
Just because like I've always been like pretty awkward, and when I was singing that song, I was just thinking of like a middle school dance or something,
Right.
when all the guys are like against the wall, you
Right,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
of course.
you build yourself up like an hour into the dance, and you just like go balls to the wall and just try something.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's another song that is popular, which means you must love it, that I really liked as well. But tell me about Unwind. How did Unwind come to be?
So Unwind, I wrote after my song Compromised was like gaining some traction, and I knew that I wanted to run with that sound. I was in the studio with these people it was a big studio, you know, and I was just starting out. I was super intimidated. These people have worked with like Chris Brown and Ariana Grande, and I was like, these people are nothing like me, but I'm gonna try and figure this out. And I went through a lot of those sessions like just super shy, and I wasn't a big fan of the process, and I was like talking to a management team at the time, and they were like trying to force this thing on me, and I was like, you know what, like fuck this, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I got out of that studio, I hit up my friend Jesse, and I was like, hey man, like I'm being forced into this like weird studio. They're trying to make me sound like Bruno Mars and shit. I would rather just like go to your house. And he was living in San Diego at the time. And let's just like write songs. And he was like, all right, clears the schedule. We go and buy like a synth because we didn't have any at the time. And I drive down to San Diego. I spend like a week or 2 weeks down there. And it was just like one of those like kind of magical situations that you can't emulate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just like, how do we like tap into those moments, you know? And yeah, it just came so naturally to us. Maybe we just really wanted to make that type of music, and like we finally gave ourselves a chance to do it
And to own it, like to have
and
it
to
not
own
be like a process that you don't vibe with, but to be like friends making cool shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for me, to do things that I love with the people that I love.
Because you remix too. I think that like one of the things I really appreciate about you is that like you're like us in the sense that it's not just about what you make, it's about who you make it with. It's about, oh, okay, like
Right.
I can do these things. What if I punch up that song? What if we all kind of collaborate on what we're doing? you
Yeah,
know?
because you feel more attached to it as well.
Yeah.
when you're doing it with those people, as opposed to something just like being set up by one team and another team.
Yeah.
And, you know, you throw your
Somebody's
vocals on
100th
it.
session of the year, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went down to San Diego. Jesse is really good at just like giving me permission or giving me validation to, you know, play what comes natural to me.
Mhm.
So that song was like literally just like the first thing that I played on the synth. And he was like, that's sick. Let's keep running with that. And then we just like, you know.
Was
one
there a
thing
line
came
there
after the
that opened
other.
it up for you?
Was there a line?
Yeah.
Like in the lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of came after. I think the main line that we were writing around was we could take a day off.
You can swim and ride the wave, swim and ride the wave. We can take a day off.
we were like, who writes songs about like doing nothing? Because we should. And so we did.
The anti-hustle song.
Yeah, the anti-hustle. I love that. The anti-hustle.
That's the next record, anti-hustle.
Yeah.
We spell it AUNTIE, anti-hustle.
Yeah.
Anti-hustle.
Anti-hustle culture.
Anti-hustle culture.
And yeah, so it was kind of a song. Like, I mean, we were kind of like visualizing the music video too. It would be like kind of where you guys are sitting on a couch, like in a smoky room, just smoking weed and like just, you know, not with no care in the world. And once it came to like really dialing it in, it was kind of more about taking a mental health day and just like subtracting from the grind.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that's how that song came about.
You got to unwind.
We threw my friend Paul, he played talk box on it. It was just like kind of
Nice.
a random thing that happened.
We love a talk box moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that made the song really special. And yeah, man. Yeah. One of my faves too.
I love that,
So,
man. I love that.
Yeah.
When did you start your project?
And
why did you start it? Like, what kind of-
We started in like 2016. I did put some stuff out like under the Tim Atlas name, but it definitely wasn't what it was. I was like more just like a guy with a guitar, just, you know.
Was there ever a point when you had considered a different career path, or was it always going to be, okay, you know, we're starting the artist project, let's go?
At the time, I was producing. So I was just producing for like local people in the Bay Area, and then people down here as well. So I was doing both simultaneously, but yeah, it was always music. So they were interconnected at the end of the day.
Were your folks musical? Was that how you got the bug?
Yeah, my dad led worship at the church.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
And then, you know, my mom was a fan of music, you know. She loved, I mean, my mom's like this Filipino woman, so she just like loved karaoke and you know,
Are both your parents Filipino?
No. My dad was adopted, so
shit.
it's a kind of a question mark what he is. I think he might be a little bit Filipino, but he's like American. So, all sorts of things. But yeah. I mean, my mom was like a big fan of music, so I was always around like a bunch of different things growing up.
Pausing the podcast to remind you that we have a Patreon that you can subscribe to if you want to support the show.
If you're enjoying this episode, but you're thinking that you've got a burning question for an artist, or you just want to talk with us, or maybe you just want to mug with our faces, our Patreon's the way to go.
So go to patreon.com/talkinglion to subscribe.
Now back to the show. Are you ready, Tim Atlas, for the question round?
The question round.
Okay.
The question round. The random question is, what do you dream your life will be like in 10 years? And that's a tough one. It's a tough one, but an interesting one, I think, for artists, because we spend so much time kind of future casting and like planning like our life.
Yeah.
But 10 years is a long time out. What do you think that's going to look like for you?
10 years is a long time. So I'm moving to New York right now. I don't think that New York will be my forever home.
Hill House.
10 years. So I'm definitely not a 10-year plan guy. I like think about, you know, what I'm doing tomorrow.
Right.
As opposed to 10 years. So that's really hard for me.
Can I rephrase the question, actually?
Sure.
Let's say we got to see your life 10 years from now.
Okay.
What's like one thing you'd be disappointed wasn't there?
I'd be really sad if my dog wasn't there anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I got her when she was 10 weeks and she's 4 years old now.
Oh.
So if in 10 years she's not around, she'll probably be around.
My
Yeah.
dog lived like 18 years or something crazy like that.
She'll be
Yeah.
an old lady at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be really sad if she wasn't around because she's just like the perfect little pup. But yeah, in 10 years, I honestly like I would love to be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I love
great.
that.
I think
Yeah.
that's,
I
I
love
think that's
that.
I mean, like
fantastic
hopefully
answer.
bigger and better, you know, maybe playing some bigger rooms. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I just really love.
Do you want a family? Like, do you want to do the family thing?
I do want some kids at some point. Little Tim's running around.
Little Tim's?
I don't mind that.
Tim's and Tim's?
It's just hard to wrap my mind around just because like I'm in such a different space right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I see a baby, I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. 10 years is a really nice time for thinking about that kind of thing.
I think I do want a family in the next 10 years. Like that is definitely a priority. But I think I would like to be doing what we're doing, but better. Like I think that that the podcast rocks and that like all of our friends are famous and and that's like fun and we're involved in movies and this and that and shit and all that stuff. And I would like to still be making music with you. I think we should live in different houses.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest change that I foresee. I think we'll be doing precisely what we're doing, just in our own houses.
I'll be sad. I'll definitely miss it, but that'll be the mark of like the next stage of adulthood, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But I love your answer to that question because I feel like I think we also recently hit this point in our life where we're doing pretty much exactly what we want to do. And I think that that's like one of the biggest blessings. So like, yeah, like I'm no longer looking forward at my life like, oh, like I hope to eventually get to this place. Like, no, I'm in the place where I'm doing what I want to do. I get to make art for a living. Yeah. That's all I really want to do. And I just hope to still be doing that in 10 years.
Well, I think we're doing what we want to do, how we want to do it. And I think that a lot of where my 10-year stuff is like in scale.
Yeah.
Scalability. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are laying the foundation right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
it just
that doesn't mean that you don't want to grow from it.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what I want to do forever. I just want to do it bigger and better.
We're just, and we're in this place now for sure. We're like, we've been doing this for 7 years, but labels still say we're early.
Yeah.
Like that's the balance, it's like, yeah, sure. We're very early in our career.
Right.
Which I would love that. I would love to, if 7 years is early in a career, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah. I think that's
because it
great.
means that like we still have a long way to go,
I'd
rather say we're early than late.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that when people get like best new artists, like at the Grammys. It's like,
And they've been working, they've been
new
doing
artists.
it. Yeah.
They've been grinding at this for like 10 years.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're in the sweet spot, baby.
Yeah, baby.
What is your phone background?
My phone background, it's a cat in outer space playing a synthesizer.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
That is fantastic.
Here, let me like...
That, yes.
That is precisely what that is.
That is 100% what that is.
No further questions. Do you have a non-musical hobby?
I like to climb rocks.
I love rock climbing.
Nice. I just came from Hollywood Boulders.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Very cool.
But I think that's it. What else do I like? Whenever I like enjoy something, I just lean in completely. So I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros.
Nice.
Yo!
And I just started playing Fortnite like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, very fun.
We'll play you in Smash Bros. I'm an Overwatch person.
Okay.
So that's my game of choice.
Cool.
But, we'll challenge you to Smash Bros.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Done and
I'm
done.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm not that great, but I mean, it's fun.
I have,
That's a great
a
game.
lifetime of experience.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm definitely a late bloomer on the video game thing. But yeah, now I just can't put it down.
Who's your main?
Kirby.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a Link person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Link is cool.
Young Link
is
and
cool.
adult Link, depending on if it's crowd or solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I'm trying to hone in on my secondary, and that's Mega Man.
Yo,
Ooh.
okay. Okay.
But
My secondary is Zero Suit.
oh, nice.
I like the agile
Yeah.
folks,
She's sick.
She's crazy.
She's sick.
Definitely.
But yeah, dude, I've been playing Fortnite. I never thought I would be a Fortnite guy, but dude,
Definitely a late bloomer there. I was like,
yeah,
I don't know if you're playing
dude,
Fortnite.
yeah, people still play.
He's on the podcast like, have you guys heard of Fortnite?
I mean, it's still a huge thing. I mean, especially
I'm
now
like
with,
one of those old people. That,
he
like,
went on to
gets
see Ariana
Facebook.
Grande.
Yeah, I was about to say,
He went
like,
on to see Ariana Grande.
Oh, I did.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
Was it sick? It seemed cool.
It was like immersive.
Yeah.
It was immersive. It wasn't a concert by any means.
It was
but
just an experience.
Was she
Yeah,
like
it was just-
there? Like, what's the...
yeah, it's like a Fortnite character of a giant Ariana Grande.
That's
And
Was
she's just
insane.
like dancing around, like you're riding like this unicorn, and it's like
Flying?
leaving this rainbow trail. Yeah, and you're like flying through these clouds with Ariana Grande, and she's like performing each of her songs. It's like 15 minutes or something.
That's
like
cool.
that.
But like, was she there, or was it just
No.
like this was all pre-programmed?
no, it's all pre-programmed.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was just like a virtual experience.
exactly.
It's an interesting because we also a song that I wrote got sampled on a record by this band Easy Life, and they performed it in Fortnite, and that was my first
Oh,
introduction
cool.
to something like that. Of just like, oh, this is a thing that people are doing.
Yeah,
It's like
There's
these,
a lot of
virtual
like pop
concerts.
culture
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
I mean, you get in a car and like the radio plays and it's always like a different song. I was just like, there's
There's
so
a
much
there's
opportunity.
a car in Fork Knife.
Fork knife?
Fork knife.
Fork knife.
Fork Knife. There's a car?
Yeah, you can get in many cars. You can drive like a truck.
Yeah, I think it's getting more MMO-y
race cars.
as
Wow.
time goes on.
Okay, so it's not a battle royale anymore?
It is, but
Okay. I played it when it was like pretty much PUBG in 3D, you know?
Yeah.
The only time I played it when it was like the basic core mechanics. And then every time somebody tells me something about Fortnite, I'm like, that can't be the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel too. I'm just like, I don't even understand what this is anymore, but I'm assuming so the core gameplay is probably still the core gameplay.
See, that's the thing. I feel like me playing Fortnite right now is like our parents getting on Facebook just like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? And now we got on Facebook now. We're just like, what are all these features? Like, how do I even use this app?
Right. Good
yeah.
old Fork Knife.
Fork knife. On to a very important question.
Super important question.
Super duper important. Would you be a pirate?
Arr.
Would I be a pirate?
You're already kind of dressed like a pirate right now.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
You got a bit of a Smee look going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He's wearing like a sailor's cap. Not like a sailor's cap, but you're wearing like a cap.
Yeah.
Like, I would describe that as a cap.
Mhm.
It's not quite a beanie. You pull it down,
Yeah.
it's a beanie. But like
Right.
right now, it's a little more top head.
Yep.
And you are wearing a striped polo. Is that a polo?
It's a shirt. It's just a
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah, striped shirt. That's like blue and white and shorts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, you're the most Popeye I've ever seen you.
Did you guys plan this question, man, or is this just a coincidence?
Yeah, actually, I saw you walking up, and I said to no immediately. You gotta add this
Gotta ask
question.
this question.
Would I be what's the job of a pirate? Like, what's the day to day?
I mean, sailing, like
stealing shit.
I mean, but stealing shit from bad sovereign nations, like sovereign nations,
like a Robin Hood pirate.
Yeah,
situation.
you are Robin Hooding. You know, you were fucked over
Yeah.
by your government.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
So might as-
but I mean, you are stealing.
you are stealing.
Yeah.
So it's doing robberies is basically the job.
Right.
Yeah.
If
But you don't
yeah.
have to murder
Okay.
or pillage.
Okay.
Like you,
Because I don't want to do that.
no, yeah, you can. You don't have to do like crazy violence.
I feel like if I had a series of events that happened in my life where I fell into pirate culture, then I would fully immerse in it, and I would participate.
I think that's an honest answer.
I love that.
I think so.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's already ready to go.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm dressing the part. So
Yeah. There you go. What was your first tattoo?
this one here.
quote the Raven.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
What's a
reference
raven,
to-
or is it a crow?
It's a blackbird.
It's a blackbird
Oh,
singing in the
black-
dead of night.
Exactly. And that's what I got.
Yeah,
this.
it's a perched.
Yeah.
for people who can't see it.
My
Just
mom
for
didn't talk to
listener
me for
land.
very long.
She's
after I
upset.
got this
Yeah,
tattoo.
Is that cultural?
It's more traditional.
Gotcha.
Than
Okay.
anything. Yeah. Speaking of tattoos, actually, when we met at South by, me and my band, we all got this tattoo.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. You were so excited about it.
So yeah, I was stoked on this tattoo, right? And I think he's like the third person in, the guys, and he's tattooing my friend. He's like, it's so funny. These don't even grow here in Texas. These only grow in
funny.
Arizona.
It's a cactus
It's a
for people in
cactus,
listener
yeah.
land.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a cactus.
Could you imagine if we didn't specify that and people are like, what?
What was it?
What doesn't grow in Texas?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was my first tattoo. A lot of people think it's like what's that? Transatlanticism?
Transatlanticism.
it does look like
the death
transatlanticism.
cab
Death
record,
cab, yeah.
It definitely does.
I just need like that little like red
the
thread.
swirly, yeah. The squiggly
Yeah.
red line. Yeah, it definitely looks like that bird, but it also, that wasn't my
Right.
first thought, but now that you mention it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have like tattoos kind of like spread out. I want to get more.
Why the blackbird?
I was just really attached to that song. I think it's like one of the first songs I learned
Oh,
on
yeah.
guitar,
Mhm.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. What was the first concert you ever attended?
He's about to hit us with the Cheetah Girls.
The first concert that I ever attended was Paramore.
Nice.
Yeah!
What? That's incredible. That's the best answer.
That's amazing.
Objectively the
Yeah.
Wait,
best
was it the
answer.
Honda Civic tour?
I don't remember. It was definitely like the Riot,
Yeah.
like,
Nice.
tour. They came to. I was going to San Jose State, and they came to.
That's awesome.
our college.
I saw them when they like brought out the couch from their first record. You
Oh
know,
my
like
gosh.
it was. Yeah, I love
Everything
Paramore
we know
live.
is falling. Dude, I love that band.
Oh my god, Paramore is so good.
They're so
so
good.
Can you recommend our listeners a boob? I'll say that again.
A boob.
A boob.
Wait, can you recommend our listeners a boob?
Yeah, wow. Okay. Can you recommend our listeners a movie, a book, and a TV show?
Okay, book The Alchemist.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
TV show. I've been watching a lot of like trash TV. I don't know why.
Lay it on us. Give us
Like
something.
I've been watching like Love Island UK.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch that?
I mean, we don't watch that, but we're like the craziest Bachelor fans
We're
you'll
very
find.
Okay,
into
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Similar vibe.
We like listen to a Bachelor podcast.
I
Yeah.
like Love
yeah.
Island UK because like they use all of this like UK slang.
Yeah, it's
Proper
very
fit.
entertaining.
Yeah, that guy's a bit of me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that adds another element.
Yeah, it's a
of
cultural
entertainment to me.
Mhm, mhm.
But as far as like a really good TV show, have you guys watched Raised by Wolves?
Oh,
Oh.
like the Alien?
Yeah,
is that
on HBO.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, I
It,
haven't watched it, but
It's like really weird vibes.
you might like it because of Rome.
Rome?
Raised by Wolves.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yes, I wish I could give you a better answer. But yeah, most of my entertainment has been coming from like stupid reality TV.
I mean, I love that for
It
you.
just like
Tim.
takes me out of
Yeah, no, that's what
Life
we
for a
want
sec.
entertainment for.
Hey, we asked him his favorite TV show, and Tim Atlas shrugged.
Wow.
Mm.
See what I did there?
Yeah. And movie. You know what movie I watched? Like, I just like come back to.
Mm.
I don't know why. I just like to put it on. It's kind of like when people put on like it's not like a comfort movie, but it's just like entertaining to me. Interstellar.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting. That's a good
Yeah.
The
one.
love
I-
dimension.
Yeah, I just love putting it on. I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
There you
Interstellar
go.
is cool. Interstellar at least like does time travel how I like it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Time travel and I have a very, very strong relationship.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an open relationship.
Okay.
You know, which is how I'm
Okay.
able to come to LA.
Right.
Me and time travel. You know.
Right.
But
Good
yeah.
callback.
Yeah. Right. Let's call back.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, my relationship with time travel actually recently ended because she didn't see a future, and I've been having
Oh my
trouble.
God.
I've been having trouble moving on, and she said that the past is the past.
But we must live in the present.
Let's live in the present.
It's the only way forward. Next question is: do you have a scar with a story?
Yeah, this on my knee right here. I don't know if you could see it because it was so many years ago. I really liked rollerblading as a kid,
Nice.
and so my stepdad set up like this rope in the garage for me to hold on to, and I would just like skate in circles because I didn't know how to.
Oh wow.
And then one day I was feeling brave, and I wanted to go down the driveway. I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 7 or something. And I did it, and then like I just fell face first. I like gashed my knee, and then I like chipped my tooth. And
I mean,
came
that's-
back in the house just bleeding.
Pardon the phrasing of this, but that's the thing about the suburbs that there's always a kid eating shit in the driveway. Like,
Yeah.
like that's just what happens, you know. Like,
Yeah.
you know, for me it was biking, and I'm like, oh, no hands, and then it's
Yeah.
just like you need those.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my story.
I love
Yeah.
that. What I love about the question is that no one has said no to this question.
yeah.
Everyone has a scar
Everyone's
with a story.
scarred, yeah.
And it's
Nice.
usually some kind of childhood thing. Like sometimes it's like a dog or some
Yeah.
kind of kitchen accident. But it's like we all get those scars and like learn something from it.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I've never broken a bone.
Me neither.
I've
Yeah, me neither.
never been stung by a bee.
I have, because I tried to pet
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
They're very fluffy.
you what?
I was trying to pet a bee.
You were trying to pet a bee?
Happens to the best of
Nice.
us.
Yeah. I also got stung by a wasp
yeah.
twice
Whoa.
Oh my
yeah, I
god,
remember
on
that
your
story.
face?
in the same spot. Yeah.
All right, Tim. What are 3 thoughts you have at this very moment?
I'm wondering how far Guisados is from here.
It's pretty close.
Down the street.
Right down the street.
I am literally like moving. like as we speak. So I'm just like selling a bunch of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I think I just have like a lot of moving thoughts. And I actually like ran out of water and I have like this like itch in my throat.
I'll get you some water.
These are like the most boring thoughts of all time, but thanks, dude.
Noah, sing us some theme music.
That is actually our theme song.
Oh, nice.
Roughly approximated.
That was good. That was all right.
Nice.
That was
dude.
stellar.
Yeah. I love that. You got something there, kid.
You might be onto something there, bud.
Onto something.
Jim Apple?
Jim Apple. Oh my god, incredible. And last question for you. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to growth. I'm looking forward to walking more. I'm looking forward to hugging people and like hanging with people. I've always said like I'm an introvert and like I would do fine in the pandemic, but now I'm questioning this because like I crave people a lot now.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited for that.
Well, it's been so awesome catching up before you leave and being friends in this space and just being able to see you in person and hug and all that. So Tim, thank you so much for being on the show.
Dude, thank you guys for having me.
If you ever need a break, if you ever need a center, dark, we could swim into a day. I promise that you're never gonna drown. We don't need a give and take. Evaporator at the end of the draw. We could swim and ride the wave, swim and ride the wave. We could take a day off. And we could take a day off.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking Lion.
We would like to thank NuWave, The Truffleist, and Isotope for their support of Talking Lion.
If you'd like to show your support, ask our guests your questions, talk to us on Discord, and get a shout out at the end of each episode, subscribe to our Patreon over at patreon.com/talkinglion.
Thank you for listening and see you next time.